All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, guys? Rio here. Going to be breaking down this 11-game NBA slate. End of season basketball. We got a ton of guys already sitting out, bunch of Q tags. So going to do my best to break down the plays today, but it's going to be very tough, and you're going to need to just lean on projections because it's going to be unlike any situations we've seen at any point this season from some of these teams. We're going to have a lot of guys playing that we've never heard of before. So, I would not be surprised to see some optimal lineups leaving, 2K, 3K in salary tonight. But there are a couple spend-up options tonight in games that are pretty meaningful, so probably going to want to be jamming in those guys. But we'll go game by game as always. First game on the slate, Chicago versus Washington. Going to be a mass rest situation for the Bulls tonight with DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic already rolled out. Would not be surprised to see Kobe White and Alex Caruso get the night off as well, but not expecting either of those guys to play big minutes if they do play. The way that I'm approaching this one, I should probably put the microphone near my mouth, but the way that I'm approaching this one, I want to play the young guys probably that I'm expecting to get more run, maybe play some of the guys that just haven't been playing much this season. So, I think that guys like Javonte Green, Torrey Craig probably do play good minutes, but I think those are guys that they probably have they probably value more for playoffs and things like that. So the guys I'm going to be looking at, Dalen Terry, young guy that's pretty talented. Adama Sanogo, he's been playing backup center minutes behind Vucevic, but expect him to get a ton of minutes tonight. I guess Javon Carter probably going to play good minutes. He's not really been much needed in the rotation. Javonte Green, I already mentioned him, but he re-signed with this Bulls team recently. He's been pretty big for their rotation lately, so I'm not expecting a ton of minutes out of him. But these guys like Henry Drell, I don't know much about him, but he's probably going to play a ton of minutes, probably going to give a ton of minutes to Onuralp Bitim. Seen him be, I know he's been, in the rotation at times this season, but haven't seen a lot lately. I think he's more of like a three-point shooter. Those are the guys I'm looking at. Mainly Sanogo, he's my favorite play, and then Dalen Terry I would rank behind him. On the Washington side of things, we have Jordan Poole and Denny Avdia listed questionable tonight. The Washington Wizards are incentivized to lose this game because they're looking to get the top lotto spot in the draft next season. So I would not be surprised to see both these guys sit. As of now, we'll kind of play it as if they are playing. So I think they're both really solid plays tonight at 7.7K and 7.6K. I think Corey Kispert is in play at 5.7K. We know the Bulls are terrible against three-point shooters. Tristan Vukovic going to get a ton of minutes as well. He's been really solid in the starting lineup. And then if Poole is out, I like Jared Butler a ton. And if Denny misses, I already like Patrick Baldwin Jr., but if he misses, I think Patrick Baldwin Jr. becomes one of the better value plays on the slate. That would also bring Johnny Davis, Justin Champagnie back into play, as well as Jules Bernard. Next game, Orlando versus Philadelphia. This is a big game for both these teams. Both teams are very incentivized to win this game, so we should see regular rotation minutes from both sides. On the Atlanta side, things don't really have too much interest in their side. If Bronze does miss, I think Paulo is a great play again, 8.6K. I think that he's probably the only one in play for me right now with the current situation. On the Philly side of things, really like Embiid as a spend up at 11K, and then Tyrese Maxey at 8.5K. I think those will be the two guys that are in my player pool tonight for this game. Next game, Charlotte versus Boston. This is probably a game I'm looking to cross out unless we get some more rest situations from both teams. The Hornets have incentive to lose this game because I think they're trying to move up, or I guess down in the lottery. So maybe we see some of the high-end guys like Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Grant Williams, any of the starters. Maybe if any of them sit, then these cheaper guys will come into play. But as of right now, not expecting that. Boston side of things, they have pretty much their entire starting 6 guys listed questionable tonight. Jaylen Brown, Drew, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, Derek White, all listed questionable. Probably going to see some of these guys sit. I don't really know who it would be that does sit, but either way, I'm expecting multiple of these guys to sit. So it's probably going to be – I'm going to be looking at Jaden Springer and Svi Mikhailuk and then Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, those types of plays as well. I don't really want to get to Peyton Pritchard tonight. I just don't think that they're going to want to extend him too much because he's been pretty important to their rotation. I think they're going to need him in the playoffs, so I don't think that they're going to really risk running him out there for 32 to 36 minutes tonight. Would more so be looking at the Springer Mikhailuk type plays on the Boston side of things. Next game on the slate, Indiana Pacers versus Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a really big game for both teams, so we're going to see a ton of minutes from the main rotation guys. I think this is a game that I definitely want to have pieces of. Mainly on the India side of things, it's just Tyrese Halliburton for me at 9.2K. I think he's got pretty big upside, regardless of the matchup being a little bit tougher. I think that the matchup is a little bit easier for him than it would be for Siakam or Miles Turner, who are going to be going up against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Whereas Tyrese Halliburton going to see probably Max Strus, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland type of players defensively. Probably some Isaac Okoro as well. But yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton definitely in play at 9.2K as a spend up option. On the Cleveland side of things, mainly looking at Donovan Mitchell. I think this is a game where he kind of sees his regular minutes. I think he kind of starts to get back into form. Did play really well against Memphis the other night, put up 55 DraftKings points on 5 of 10 shooting from deep, 9 of 17 from the field. This is a really good spot for pick and roll ball handlers. Donovan Mitchell, 8th in the league in scoring this season, where the Pacers are dead last in pick and roll defense. So I think he's got a ton of upside, and he looks like he might be pretty low owned, so I like him a ton. And then I'll be max 1 Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, slight lean to Jared Allen. I like the spot a little bit better for centers. And then actually scratch that. I lean Evan Mobley. I think the spot is better for power forwards than it is for centers. And then I would be max 1 Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland as well. Next game, Brooklyn Nets taking on the New York Knicks in New York. At New York Knicks. They're both in New York. But the Nets will be down some guys tonight. Cam Johnson, Daron Sharp, downgraded doubtful. Expect them to sit. Already have Dorian Finney-Smith and Dennis Smith Jr. listed out, and then Dennis Schroeder also listed questionable. I think that if Schroeder misses, Cam Thomas probably a pretty good play. Already playing a ton of minutes. He leads the team in usage since returning from injury. He's been playing pretty well lately. Elevated price tag, almost 8K, but I still think that he's got the upside to pay that off. So he would be the high-end spend I'm looking at. I don't really want to get to Bridges or Nick Claxton tonight. And then the value plays, really like Noah Clowney. I think he's going to play a ton of minutes, play 35 and 39 minutes in back-to-back games. I think this is a guy they want to get a look at. I would expect a ton of minutes from him. I think Trent Watford gets in there a lot, some backup center minutes with Daron Sharp out, and then Jalen Wilson would be more so in play for me if Dennis Schroeder does miss. But, yeah, I really like Noah Clowney tonight as a value option. On the Knicks side of things, I think you can make a case for these spend-ups. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, probably going to be a max 2 of those 3. Obviously, like Jalen Brunson a ton. He's been playing great lately, 60-plus DK points in 4 of his last 5 games, and then put up 49.5 in just 30 minutes against Boston last night. Did come up a little banged up, but he's probable, so expect him to play. I think Josh Hart is probably the better point per dollar play on the slate for the Knicks side of things. He's got the triple-double upside, been rebounding really good lately, and now that Isaiah Hartenstein's going to be out, probably gives him a bigger boost in rebounding. We know that they're not going to extend Mitchell Robinson much. That probably brings in like a Precious Achiuwa into play as a backup center. But yeah, I think Josh Hart's got some really big upside in this one at just 6.9K. Next game, Denver versus San Antonio. Denver is highly motivated to win this game, looking to lock up the number 1 seed in the West, and the Spurs are motivated to lose this game. They look to get the first pick in the lottery next season. Jokic for me is top spin on the slate, 12.3K. Been smashing lately, 77 DK points in the last game versus San Antonio. 3 of his last 6 games have been in the 70s as well. So yeah, he's the top spend for me on the slate tonight. I don't think that I'm going to get to these secondary Denver guys unless we get some news that they're sitting, but they're all listed probable, so expect them to play. I don't think they're going to be pushing Jamal Murray much at the end of the season. Going to wait to extend him once he gets to the playoffs. Same situation for MPJ, Aaron Gordon. I think they're better plays if Jamal Murray were to be out, but he's probable, so not really looking to the secondary guys much. San Antonio side of things, they're going to continue to be without Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, Devin Vassell, Chetty Osman, and then also Malachi Branham is out tonight. Yeah, so Wemby is a really good play for me. Again, 11.5K. Don't really mind the price tag. He's been, a usage monster, fantasy point per minute monster with these injuries, and I think that he's a great play. The only thing that's kind of keeping him out of play for me is just the strength of the center position tonight, because we have a lot of value there with all these guys sitting, and then also Jokic just to spend up. So might be contrarian to go with a Jokic Wemby little back and forth, because last time these two teams played, he went off, put up 75 in that one, where Jokic put up 77. So it'd be nice to have a little back and forth there. Trey Jones, 6.2K, going to have a ton of usage. I think the potential assists are going to be there now that he's playing with Wemby. I think that he's much better played with Wemby on the floor. They just have a nice little two-man game going, but he's been playing really well lately. Got the triple-double upside, put up a triple-double against Denver, put up 51 DK points in that game. So I think Trey Jones still in play at 6.2K, probably going to be pretty low owned. And then should expect Devontae Graham to get some of those minutes left behind by Malachi Branham. Same as Champagne should get some of those minutes, as well as Blake Wesley. Next game is the Lakers versus Memphis. Lakers are very motivated to win this game as well. Should be able to win it pretty easily with the Memphis situation, where they're going to be playing a JV squad, essentially going to have 8 guys out there, and Lakers are double-digit favorites in this one. But yeah, Lakers could move up to the 8th seed in the West if they get a win, and some of the other teams in front of them lose. They're trailing the Warriors and the Kings right now. They're all have the same record, but the Lakers are in the 10th seed right now, but they could move up. So yeah, I would be a max one situation of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think they're both really good plays. I slightly lean AD tonight, coming off a couple days rest with had the eye injury that kept him out against Minnesota. But yeah, we should see full minutes from these guys as long as the game is close, because they definitely want to win this game. The Grizzlies just have nobody on the other side that could defend Anthony Davis. Not LeBron James either, but I just think the AD probably going to come out more full strength tonight than LeBron James is. So I think AD is a top spend for me on the Lakers side. On the Grizzlies side of things, you're definitely going to want to have some of these guys again. I'll just rank them because I think that they're all pretty much in play. But for me, it's going to be Scottie Pippen Jr., Jordan Goodwin. Really like the guards against the Lakers. And then Jake LaRavia would be third for me. And then I like Trey Jameson after that, G.G. Jackson at 6.8K, and then Xavier Simpson. And then I guess the Timmy Allen and Jack Whites are just kind of leftovers. Next game, we got 4 left. Milwaukee versus OKC. Milwaukee going to be without Giannis and Dame tonight. Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis will be in, though. The OKC Thunder will be pretty much at full strength. I believe Josh Giddey did get downgraded to questionable, but not enough to change the slate. Yeah, Giddey is questionable. Outside that, they should be fully healthy, though. Yeah, not a game I'm super excited about. Bucks, they do have some incentive to win because they could move up in the standings, but they are 15-point underdogs tonight. I just don't think they're going to be pushing these guys. I think they'll probably extend the rotation a bit, but I still think Bobby Portis is in play. He doesn't really need a ton of minutes to get there. He's just been absolute fantasy point per minute monster with Giannis off the court this season, and even more so with Dame off the court. So I think that he's the top play, probably the only one that's going to make my player pool tonight on the Bucks side of things. I think that you can make a case for Patrick Beverley, but I don't think I'm going to be going there. The OKC side, yeah, it's really just SGA for me, 10.2K. I don't think that he's going to get full minutes, but he could probably still get there in 3 quarters. OKC, they do have some incentive to win as well. They're third in the West, but they could move up. It's very there's not a good chance that they get the number 1 seed or the 2 seed with Minnesota playing Atlanta tonight, and then Denver playing San Antonio. Both games that I would expect both Denver and Minnesota to win. But yeah, I think the SGA is still a fine play at 10.2K. Next game on the slate, Toronto versus Miami. This is a game neither team has really anything to play for. Both teams are pretty locked into where they are in the standings. Obviously, Toronto's not really in contention, but they can't move up or down, so they can't really improve their draft standings at all. So they're in the 12th seed. And then Miami is pretty locked into the 8th seed. They could move up to 7 if Philly loses tonight and they win. So I guess they probably still going to run their guys out, but yeah, I think that they probably won't extend them too much. They should be able to win this game pretty easily with them being 15-point favorites at home. The Toronto side of things, really just looking at Quickly Barrett and Kelly Olynyk. I think that Quickly is still in play, even though that projections probably are not going to follow that. He's played 36, and 34 minutes in his last 3 games, put up 60, 62, and 58 in those games. I think he's probably still going to play around 34 to 36 minutes tonight, and I don't really see a reason why he wouldn't. And I mean, the matchup is not terrible either. Miami's been giving up some big games to point guards lately, so I think that Quickly is the top play on the Raptors side of things. I'm still going to get some of him at 8.8K. Kelly Olynyk, I don't know. I don't really want to play him against Bam. He's played 34, 35, and 33 minutes in his last 3 games. Been, up and down as a fantasy producer. He does have the scoring upside. He's got the assist potentials, things like that. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to go there on this slate. On the Miami side of things, really just looking at Tyler Hero, 7.1K. He's getting back into form. Played 36, 48, 31 minutes in his last 3 games. Put up 37, 45, and 29 DK points in those games. Should be a really easy matchup for everybody in the Heat tonight. But I like him the best at his price tag, 7.1K. Next game, Atlanta versus Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns looks like he's going to be making his return tonight, but there's a chance Anthony Edwards misses. He got downgraded to questionable with an illness tag. I mean, he probably plays, but the illness tag is not something you like to see. He's been playing through everything this season, so I would expect him to play because Minnesota still needs to win this game. But yeah, I think that he's a very strong play. Cat is definitely going to have some sort of minutes restriction, probably somewhere in the low 20s. I'm going to be max 1 of the big 3 in Ant, Cat, Rudy Gobert. I don't think you're really going to get to any Cat tonight, but for sure going to have some Ant and Rudy Gobert. I do think that Rudy is my top play on the Minnesota side. I like the spot against the weak interior defense of the Atlanta Hawks, who will probably be without Clint Capella tonight. Maybe some more guys because think that they're pretty locked in where they are in the 10th seed. They can't move up or down really. So expect them to rest some guys. Maybe DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella get some rest, but I think Trey does play because he just returned from the injury. Gonna look to get him back to full strength, but I don't really think you're getting to many of these Atlanta guys tonight. I think that Bruno Fernando would be the top play if Clint Capella does miss, but just center eligible. You got to compare him to all the other good centers on the slate. I think that he would not be as much of a priority as some of the other guys. Last game on the slate, Detroit versus Dallas. Obviously, Detroit, they have nothing to play for. They already are sitting Cade Cunningham tonight. I think Jalen Duren is still listed questionable. If he misses, then let me see. Yeah, he's still listed questionable. If he misses, then I think that James Wiseman comes into play as well. But just similar to Bruno Fernando, you got to compare him to all the other good centers on the slate. Not excited about much on this Detroit side of things. I think that Marcus Sasser is still in play at 4.9K, but I prefer the Grizzlies guards much more. I guess Jaden Ivey kind of high upside play at 6.9K. He's been playing well lately, but none of these guys are really a priority. I'm not looking to run and play any of these Detroit guys. On the Dallas side of things, they're going to be without Kyrie Irving. I think there's a chance that Luka does sit tonight. They need to get these guys some rest. There's no reason. I mean, they are incentivized to win because they are in the 5th seed right now. They could move up with the Clippers loss, but the Clippers are playing. They play tonight, I believe. They're playing against Utah, so they should. If I was the Mavericks, I'm expecting them to win that game. So this would be a pretty good spot to give Luka the night off, in my opinion. I'm going to be playing it as if Luka does sit, and I'm going to give Jaden Hardy a really big bump in projection because I think that he's going to be the guy that plays a ton of minutes. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him play upper 30s minutes tonight, just because they have nothing to play for at this point. So he'd be the play I'm looking at, and then I guess like Tim Hardaway Jr., Dante Exum would be more so in play, but I just don't think they're going to really be extending these guys too much in a meaningless game. So yeah, I'm not really looking to too much, but except for Jaden Hardy, going to be bumping him up a ton. All right, that's going to do it. Got through all 11 games under 20 minutes. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Hopefully your golf lamps are looking good. I hope you guys got the chance to check out Big Marley and Titletown's stream for the UFC 300. Super excited about that. Only got one more slate of basketball on Sunday, and then we are looking forward to playoffs. We'll have you covered with all the content over there. Really looking forward to some of the showdown slates for playoffs. We've been crushing it in showdown pretty much every night. Have guys shipping 20K left and right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some playoff basketball for sure. Get through these last couple slates of playing guys like Adama Sanogo and Patrick Baldwin Jr. But yeah, that's going to do it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I will catch you guys later. Bye.